So this is a hatha yoga practice. We'll do some fairly gentle movement. I'll push it a little bit just for some key strength connections around the shoulders, legs, and hips, and some mobility stuff. But mostly, we're just trying to move the body to feel a little bit better, do some long relaxation, and a little bit of meditation as well at the end of practice. So to start, you can put a yoga block underneath your sitting bones. If your hips are super open, feel free to sit on the floor. Otherwise, very helpful to elevate the pelvis. And then resting your hands over your lap, close the eyes. And bring your awareness inwards to the breath. Start to lengthen the exhale breath, making a really soft sound in the back of the throat, like the feeling of a whisper. And then start to slow the inhale the same way, that little bit of tension of a whisper. Very similar to having a smoothie through a straw. And on the next exhale, you can round the back, tipping your pelvis back, look towards your navel, and take a slow breath in, slowly rooting through the sit bones, lift the heart. Option to lift the chin at the top. And exhale, round your spine, dropping the tail, shoulders forward, spreading the shoulder blades. Inhale, roll up through the vertebra, root down through the sitting bones, and then option to look up. Exhale, shoulders forward, spreading wide, drop the chin. Inhale, roll up through the vertebra. Try lifting the head at the very end, as much as you're comfortable. Exhale, dropping the pelvis back, pubic bone lifts. Inhale, root the sit bones, lift the heart, and draw the shoulder blades a little bit closer. And do a few more at your own pace. And see if you can feel the breath flowing around the lower back, up through the sides of the belly and ribs. On the exhale, think about lifting the pubic bone, very gently tensing the core. Last one. And then make some big circles with your spine, leaning over one knee, lean back, and then lean your heart over the other knee. Big circular movements. You can also push off the hand to help lean away from the knee. And change directions. And take your time to really explore the ends of your range, stretching one side of the spine, contracting the opposite side. And we'll meet back in the center. Taking the hands forward, come into table pose. If this is hard on your knees, you might put a blanket underneath your knees, or take the middle of your mat and fold it over about 6 inches or so. So now you have a triple pad. Hands could be past the front of the mat. Spreading the fingers wide, take a slow breath in, and then a slow exhale to connect with the core and push into your hands. And start to make some big circles in the shoulders. Try to keep the arms straight. Let the shoulders go up to the ears, shoulder blades closer, and then draw the shoulders away from the ears and spread them apart. Up to the ears, shoulder blades closer, and then spread the shoulder blades and draw the shoulders away from the ears. Big circular movement. And notice how the spine tends to change position as we do this. That's fine. As long as it feels good, it's all good. Spreading the shoulder blades naturally lends itself to more spinal flexion, rounding the back, whereas shoulder blades closer lends itself to spinal extension. So as long as it doesn't hurt, totally cool. Be where it feels relatively good. Good. And then spreading the shoulder blades, take your hands a little bit further forward. Tuck your toes under, and as you exhale, explore sitting back towards the heels, tucking the chin. Inhale, slowly come forward. Exhale, sit back, dropping the chin. Inhale, slowly come forwards. 3 more vinyasas, moving with your breath. Exhale to sit, scooping the tail under. Inhale, heart forward. Notice how as you sit back, your shoulders moving into more and more of its overhead range. And then exhale, sit back almost all the way. And then bring your palms to the floor. If your wrists are tired, you could take your forearms to the floor. And try to spread your shoulder blades as you slightly tuck the chin and engage the abdominal core. And notice the feeling of your breath. Try to slow the breath. Inhale to lift the head. Bring your hands towards your knees and sit back into a toe squat. So you can actually sit back on the heels. If that's too much, you might keep your pelvis over your knees more. Flex your toes towards your shin, engaging in the front of the shin, and try to sink the weight down through the toes. Bring the backs of the hands together and make some circles with your wrists, squeezing the fingertips in towards the forearms. Big circular movements. And then opening the palms up towards the sky, aim your fingernails towards your forearms. So imagine that you're holding your own heart. Press your forearms together, spreading those shoulder blades out, and then start to lift the arms. Come off your heels, lifting the hips, and press the tops of the feet into the floor. And then we'll hang out in this posture, squeezing the forearms together, and then lifting up as high as you can. So this should feel pretty difficult. I'm actually shaking a bit as I show it. So really strongly try to press those elbows together. This is helping you engage what's called the serratus anterior, one of your main shoulder stabilizers that spreads the shoulder blade. And then see how it feels to slowly straighten your arms while keeping that strength. Lift your chin, gazing up to thumbs. Keep reaching up to the sky as far as you're comfortable. And then relax down. Bring your hands to your lower back around your sacrum. And then loop the shoulders up and back, just like we did in table. Lifting the heart, legs about parallel, so you can check to see that your feet are about hip width. With an inhalation, lift the right arm up. As you exhale, take the hand behind the back, squeezing the shoulder blade to middle back, bow forwards. And repeat. Inhale, reaching the right arm up. And exhale, bend the arm and bring the fist towards the sacrum, squeezing shoulder blade to middle back. And continue a few more vinyasas. See how it feels to keep the spine fairly straight for most of the movement. And then last one, we're going to hold at the bottom. So exhale, hinging, take the arm behind the back, squeeze the right shoulder blade to middle back, and breathe. You can squeeze both shoulder blades towards each other, and then try to lift your fist off of your spine. It's really difficult. 2 more breaths. Keep squeezing that right shoulder blade to middle back. And then inhale all the way up, lifting the right arm. Tuck your toes under. Exhale, strong core, left foot near the front left corner of the mat. And then as you bend that right arm, you can take your left hand to the right upper arm and explore bending your front leg like a squat, as far as you can go comfortably, and then reverse the movement, lifting the pubic bone. Again, inhale, bending the knee, and exhale, reversing the movement. So if your lower back hurts, don't go forward quite as far. And think about connecting to the strength of your buttocks and your core together. Next, exhale, push off that left heel, lifting pubic bone, dropping tail, and breathe, holding the posture. Explore lifting the right shoulder blade up to the ear. You can also explore side bending, leaning over towards your left. Imagine the legs were a pair of scissors trying to close towards each other. And then slowly straighten that left leg. Spread the arms out like wings. Take a breath in. As you exhale, twist to the left and take your right hand to the floor under your shoulder, or use a yoga block to make your arm longer. Top arm up. And make some big circles, reaching the hand towards the back hip and then forwards by the ear. About 5 slow breaths. Try to keep your left leg straight, engaging the front of the thigh. And again, once more, reach up. On your exhale, take the left fingers to the floor. Feel free to use a second yoga block underneath that left hand. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, fold over your left leg as much as you're comfortable. If your lower back hurts, you could focus on keeping the heart lifted instead, and then drawing that thigh bone back into the hip socket, really connecting the leg to the pelvis. 3 more breaths. And then pushing into that right hand, bring your left leg back. And we'll meet back in camel position, looping the shoulders up and back. And then bring your hands near your sacrum, back of pant line. With an inhale, lift the left arm. And exhale, squeezing shoulder blade to middle back, bow forward. Inhale, lift the arm, gradually spreading the shoulder blade out. And exhale, squeezing shoulder blade to middle back, fold over. And continue exploring this movement. And just for the sake of giving it a name, we'll call it the camel salute. It's kind of like sun salute meets a camel. Two more to go. And last one. So exhaling, bring that hand behind the back. Lift the shoulders away from the floor and squeeze shoulder blades to middle back. Now try to lift your left hand off of your spine. That's the next phase. But main thing is getting your shoulder blade to squeeze the middle back. Second phase is trying to lift the fist. Get 3 more breaths. One more breath. And inhale, come all the way up, lifting left arm. Tuck the toes under. With an exhale, step that right foot near the front right corner, so feet are a little wider than hip width, and then bend your left elbow. Take your free hand to that upper left arm, and with an inhale, explore bending your front foot. Feel free to wiggle it forward more. Exhale, push off the heel, lifting the pubic bone, tensioning the core. And again, inhale, bend the knee. And exhale, reversing the movement. Continue exploring that posture. And the last one. So use the exhale to help connect with the buttock, reversing the bend of the knee, lifting the pubic bone, tension the core, and then explore leaning over to your right, side bending. At the same time, try to squeeze the legs towards each other, pressing the left hip forward with buttock power and pulling back through the right heel, drawing that right hip out slightly. So maybe you can feel a bit of stretch in the front of the left hip. Maybe it travels up the side of the belly and goes all the way into that left armpit, getting into the lat. Feel free to lift that left shoulder blade a little bit higher to the sky. One more breath. And then straightening your front leg, release the arms. Inhale, spread the arms like wings. Exhale, twist to the right and take your left hand down underneath the shoulder, using a yoga block or the floor, top arm up. And make some big circles in that right shoulder, forward by the ear and back by the hip. Oh, hello, Mr. Cat. It's so nice when the animals just come and hang out mid-yoga. If I ever open a studio, it's just going to be cats everywhere. Little dogs running around. Nobody will be able to meditate ever, but it'll be amazing anyway. And then next exhale, take your right fingers down. Feel free to use a yoga block or take both hands down. Inhale, lift the heart and then chin. Exhale, engage the quadriceps, hugging that thigh bone back into the hip socket. Fold over for 5. Any pain in the low back, focus on lifting the heart instead. And then inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, push into your left hand and take the right leg back. Moving back to table position. Take the hands a little bit further forward, shoulders over the wrists. As you exhale, sit back towards your heels, rounding the spine slightly. Inhale, slowly come forward, shoulders over the wrists. Exhale, explore bending the elbows, touching the pelvis to the floor. Inhale, pressing up, straight arms. Exhale, sitting back. And repeat. Inhale, roll forward, spine can be rounded. Exhale, bend the elbows, lift the chin, pelvis to the floor. Inhale, pressing up, straight arms. Exhale, tuck the chin, and sit back. A few more to go at your own pace. Instead of going into a low plank close to the floor, think of keeping the heart up and the upper back strong as the elbows bend. So it's more like you're going into a back bend for the upper spine. And then come down really slow for the next one. So try taking about 3 breaths to come down, bending the elbows, pulling the hands towards the hips. That's 1, 2, and 3. Come into Sphinx pose. Bring the elbows a little bit forward of your shoulders. Take the feet a little wider than the hips. And as you press into your hands, lift the shoulders, bend the arms, and start to pull your hands in towards you with the idea of connecting with the upper back. And then exhale, come all the way down. Bring your hands to your sacrum, legs together, and I'll show a modification in just a moment. So with an inhale, take the left arm forward, right leg up. Exhale, back to center, lowering the forehead. And switch. Inhale, right arm forward, left leg up. Exhale, back to center. So keep on going. Modification is table. Inhale, left arm forward, right leg back. Exhale, table. Inhale, right arm, left leg. Exhale, center. And keep on going, about 3 more each side. If you prefer to do table anyway, feel free. Otherwise, remain on your belly. Just really good, honest movement. All right, next time the left arm comes forward, we'll hold for 3 breaths. So left arm forward, right leg back for 1, 2, and 3. Exhale, center. Other side. Inhale, left leg, right arm. 1, 2, 3. Good. Inhale, both arms. Just kidding. Exhale, push back into puppy stretch, sitting towards your heels. So we'll all meet there. Arms forward and release the head down. This can be as passive as you wish. Reconnect with the depth of the breath. Inhale, lift the head. Hands under shoulders, undo the fold of your mat. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. Go ahead and walk your dog. If you like to modify, you can go into ragdoll instead, holding opposite elbows, bending your knees. And then move your torso side to side, stretching one side of the spine and then the other. And from down dog, take a breath in to lift your heels up. Exhale, bend your knees, look to the hands. Inhaling, step forward to half lift, chin comes up. Exhale, fold, bowing the head in. Again, half lift, inhale, push off the tips of your fingers. Exhale, fold, bowing the head down. And last one, inhale halfway. Exhale, folding. Bend your knees generously. Look forward and spread the arms like wings. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. And exhale, mountain pose. And then taking the feet about a foot apart or so, hip width, play with transferring the weight over one foot and then the other. Leaning your pelvis over that ankle. Notice how that leg becomes weight-bearing. And then as we lean over that left ankle, we'll bend the knee, pick up the right leg, and make some circles in the right hip joint. Try to keep the rest of the body as still as you can. It's not wrong if you move it, but for our purposes, let's try and keep the movement isolated to that right hip joint. And change direction, same leg. Maybe you can feel the inner thigh muscle working as you squeeze the center, and then the buttock working as you press the knee away from the midline. And then back to center, bend your knees, play with that weight transfer side to side. And then leaning your pelvis over your right ankle, pick up that left foot and make circles with your left hip. And try to really engage the buttock to push out from the knee. And change directions. Squeezing the center line. Last one. Very good. And we'll lower that left foot again. So transfer the weight over your left foot, right leg up, and this time we'll slowly step that right foot back, aiming it towards the front right corner of your mat. Feet roughly 3 feet apart or so. With an inhalation, lift the arms shoulder width apart. Exhale, bend your front knee and bend the elbows to a W shape. Inhale, straighten the leg, straighten the arms, and repeat. Exhale, bend the arms, bend the knee. Inhale, straighten the leg, lift the arms, and a few more vinyasas at your own pace. And try to keep the tail heavy, abdominals strong as you exhale. Lots of strength coming from the back of the legs. And then last one, reach up. This time, keep the arms up. Exhale, bend your knees. Now we're in Warrior One. Take a breath here. As you exhale, keep the arms as they are. Hinge forward at the hip joint. Inhale to come up, keeping the knee bent. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hinging. 2 more vinyasas. Last one. And then hinge forward, keeping your arms up as high as you can, holding for 3 breaths. Inhale, come up. And exhale, relaxing the arms down, step to the front in mountain pose. Transferring the weight over your right foot, bend the knee. Slowly step the left foot back. Angling at the front left corner of the mat. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, bend the arms strong through the core of the body. Inhale, reaching up, straight leg. Again, exhale, W shape. A few more at your own pace. Actively spread out through your right toes. And think about consciously contracting that right buttock just before you come up. Really pushing into that heel. Last one, straighten the arms on the in-breath. Keep that position on the exhale, bend your knee. Take a breath in Warrior One. On your next exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, come up. Again, exhale, hinging. Inhale, come up. 3 more to go. Nice and slow. And we'll hold the next one 3 breaths, really loading up through the right buttock glute. That's 1. Keep lifting the arms straight. 2. And 3. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, stepping forward. Mountain pose. And then connecting again to the strength of your left leg. We'll lift the right knee. This time as you turn your knee to the right, take the pelvis with it. Warrior Two stance. You could have your heels on roughly the same track. Maybe it's heel to the arch of the back foot. It's all good. And take an inhale to lift the arms up. Slowly straighten your left leg. Exhale, take the left hand to the inside of your shin, wherever it goes comfortably. And then bring your right arm behind the back for half-bound triangle. So you can rest the hand near the sacrum. Wiggle it towards the left thigh as close as it'll go. And then explore letting your left ear rest down towards your shoulder. Stretching into the right side of the neck. Shoulders drawing away from the ears. Next exhale, look down and bend your left knee. Inhale, Warrior Two. Exhale, step a little closer with that right foot. Kung Fu Warrior. So get the right arm ready for battle. Take a breath in. As you exhale, press the right arm forward and draw back through your left hip. Again, inhale. So we're using the arms to train the legs. Exhale, right leg spiraling in, left hip drawing back. 3 more to go. As you exhale, we're bending the knee to a hover and lifting the pubic bone, trying to create a a space in the lower back, getting out of compression in the low back. Oh. Good, last one. So you have options on the next one. You're welcome to hang out in a lunging position. Feel free to fold the edge of the mat over or put a prop under your knee. Option 2 is twisting by spreading the arms on an inhale. On the exhale, we twist to the left, but bring that knee towards the midline, and then take your right arm outside the leg as much as you can, turning the chest open, and breathe. If you'd like to do a different variation of this pose, there's lots of choices. There's binding, there's touching down with your hand on the floor on either side of the foot. Main thing is focusing on turning the left chest open in the twist. And then as you exhale, slowly look down, lower the left hand. Removing the block from the right knee, you can drop that knee down, and then walk your left foot over towards the right edge of the mat. A pigeon variation, we'll start by going onto the outside of the left shin, and then sit back onto the outside of your left thigh. Both knees could be bent 90 degrees. If you're a little bit looser, you might focus on straightening the right leg, and then using your ninja hips so that your right hip comes closer to the floor, spiraling the leg in. With an inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, fold over your leg. Again, inhale, lift the chest, moving like waves. Exhale, try folding over the knee. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, fold towards the foot. Inhale, lift the heart. And then exhale, fold to a sweet spot. Your heart could stay lifted if you're folding from the hip joint more, from the pelvis. Or there's the option to round your spine if you'd like to relax more. And then inhale, slowly come up. And exhale, walk your legs back to downward facing dog. Take a few moments to walk your dog there, bending one leg and straightening the other. And with an inhale, lift your heels up. Exhale, bend the knees, look to hands, and step forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees generously. Inhale, arms out to the sides, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, mountain pose. Taking the feet hip width. Play with the weight transfer again, going side to side. Bend your knees. Leaning over that right leg, pick up your left foot. Make some circles in that left hip. And then pelvis follows that knee, turning to the left. So, short warrior 2 stance. Prepare for battle. Kung Fu warrior. Oh wait, actually, not yet, right? Triangle pose. Almost forgot. So, straighten your legs and take a breath in. We'll save the Kung Fu for later. And as you exhale, take that right hand down to your shin or a yoga block under your shoulder. Top arm up to the sky. From there, you can take the top arm behind the back, holding around the sacrum or maybe even holding the right thigh, and then release your right ear down to your shoulder, inviting a stretch through the left side of the neck. And this will be enhanced by drawing the shoulders away from the ears. Making little movements in the neck. Next exhale, bend the right knee. Inhale, come up, warrior 2. Exhale, step that left foot in a little bit closer for the moment we've all been waiting for, the reason to wake up today. Kung Fu warrior. So get that left hand ready for battle. And on the exhale, let the hips move with you. Again, inhale, prepare. Helps have a fairly short stance. Exhale, lunging on left toes, strong in the buttock. A few more to go. Notice how we're letting the pelvis follow the spine. which is the opposite of keeping the foot flat and only really moving in the spine. Let the pelvis follow. Tensioning core and glutes together. Last one. So we'll bring that left knee down to hover nice and slow. Feel free to put a prop under your knee or fold the edge of the mat over. And then you have options. So you could hang out in a lunge. Option 2, twisting. Take a breath in to spread the arms. As you exhale, allow your right knee to drift towards the midline and then turn your heart to the right. Left arm outside the leg if possible, hands to prayer, or touch the floor on either side of the foot with that top arm up. And breathe. And next exhale, look down. We'll make our way into pigeon. So you can walk your right foot over towards that left edge of the mat. Slowly bring the shin down, supporting yourself on the right hand. And then there's the option to bend both knees to help get the outside of that right thigh to the floor. And this is just one of the many ways of approaching pigeon. If you're a bit looser, try to straighten the left leg, allowing the pelvis to follow the spine. The left leg turns in. With an inhale, lift the heart up. Exhale, fold over your leg. Tucking the chin, inhale to roll up through the vertebra. Exhale, try folding over the foot. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, turn towards the knee. Inhale, roll up. And exhale, find your sweet spot. We'll hold the pose about 8 breaths again. So you might be pulling back with your fingers and keeping an openness through the chest, hinging more at the hip. It's fine to make it more passive as well. And then feel free to close your eyes, drawing the awareness into your breath. One more slow breath. Inhale, slowly rise up. And then we'll bring that left leg around to the front of the mat. So take your feet about as wide as the mat, and then bring the hands about half a foot behind you or more. Your fingers could be aiming at your hips, or you could turn the hands out a little bit more. Both ways are great. As you plant your palms, lift your heart, and then exhale, both knees towards the left. Inhale across center. Exhale, both knees towards the right. Inhale across center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, center. And keep on going at your own pace. Naturally, the feet will slide away from you, so every so often, bring your heels closer to your sitting bones and lift your heart again. And then bring both knees towards that left side and hold. Aiming your right knee towards the sole of that left foot. Try to lift your heart while reaching the hands down. This is working inward rotation in your right leg and outward rotation in the other leg. And with that left hand planted, inhale to reach your right arm by your ear, lifting the hips. Exhale, reaching towards the back foot. A few more vinyasas, moving with your breath. Last one. And we'll hold at the top 3 breaths. You could be strong in the left side of the core to help lengthen the right side of your spine. And then very slowly come down, bringing both hands behind you. We'll go side to side a few times to reset. And then both knees towards the right. So aim your left knee towards the sole of that foot. Plant the palm, lift and open the chest. Take a few breaths here. One more breath. And then pushing into the right hand, inhale, lift the hips, reach back through the left arm. Exhale, moving back to sitting, and reach behind your foot. Inhale, lift the hips, left arm close to the ear, and exhale, slowly reach back. And continue, a few more vinyasas. And we'll hold the next one. So lifting the hips, push into that right hand, strong through the right side of the abdomen. You could be lengthening up the left side as an option. And breathe. And long exhale, slowly sitting back. Bring the legs out in front. And with an inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, point the feet, slowly laying down onto your back. Bend the knees, placing the soles of the feet on the floor. And with an inhalation, lift the arms over the head towards the back of the mat. Exhale, lift the hips up. Inhale, slowly bring the arms down, hands near the feet. Exhale, lowering vertebra by vertebra. Again, inhale, lift the arms. Slow the movement, reversing or resisting gravity. Exhale, lift the hips up. Inhale, lowering the arms. Exhale, slowly lower through your spine. Inhale, lift the arms. Resist gravity. Exhale, lift the hips. Inhale, slowly bring the arms down. Exhale, lowering through the vertebra. And one more at your own pace. And then lay down, bringing your arms out to the sides. Take the feet a little wider and windshield wiper the legs side to side on the back. A few more vinyasas at your own pace. And then bring the knees towards the left side. Your feet could stay about as wide apart as the mat. Another option is lifting the left ankle. Place it on the outside of the right thigh, close to the knee. And then explore lifting and lowering the left knee. Just a little bit of movement in that left hip. Notice how that changes the sensations along the outside of that right hip. Just notice what there is to notice there. You might also feel like you're massaging the left buttock into the floor. And find a sweet spot and hold. You can gently press the ankle and thigh into each other, starting with a very gentle effort. And then come back to center. Feet wide apart, bring both knees to the right. Feel free to stay there, or take the right ankle outside of the left thigh, just above the knee. And explore lifting and lowering that right knee, just a few inches or so. Massaging the right hip, right glute. And maybe you feel more of a stretch in the outside of your left leg. And then pause, find a sweet spot. Feel free to press the ankle and thigh into each other, or be more passive in the pose, your choice. And then focus in on the breath. Allow the belly to soften. And just notice the breath expanding out through the belly. Maybe it radiates out through the sides of the belly and the ribs, all the way up to the heart. And then releasing the pose, slowly come back to center. You can windshield wiper side to side dynamically again. And we'll do one last posture on the back. So maybe it's happy baby, drawing the knees towards the shoulders. Could be holding the feet, knees bent or straight. If you'd like to practice plow pose, you're welcome to roll back over your shoulders, rounding into the spine more. And with a long exhale, slowly lower down vertebra by vertebra for those of you in plow. Bend the knees to lower the feet. And then you're welcome to move into Shavasana, straightening the legs out. If you feel any discomfort in the lower back, there's a few things you could try. One of them is bending the knees and letting the knees fall in towards each other. Another one is placing yoga blocks underneath your knees, near your calves, one underneath each one. And then make your way into full relaxation, softening the shoulders down the back. Scoop the tail towards the heels, creating space in your low back. And completely relax all effort. And as the body moves into deeper and deeper layers of relaxation, allow the breath to take care of itself. Notice yourself being breathed. And start to slowly bring awareness back to your breath. Become aware of the hands and the feet. Noticing any vibration patterns in the hands, and the arms. And begin to wiggle the fingers and toes. Make little circles with the ankles and the wrists. Turn the chin from shoulder to shoulder. And with the head centered, take a long inhale to reach the arms back overhead, pointing through the feet. And take a long exhale. Bend the knees, wrap the arms around the legs, gently hugging them into the chest. Rock side to side if that feels good in your spine. And then reaching the right arm back, roll over to rest on your right arm, using the arm as a pillow. And then help yourself up. And welcome back. The year is 2020. I believe the month is October. Where did we go there? So let's take a yoga block underneath the pelvis or a cushion. You can prop yourself up. We'll just do a few minutes of sitting that take us up to the full hour. So resting the hands however they're comfortable on your lap. If you prefer to have one hand over the other, that's another common way of sitting. I like to just rest my hands wherever on the lap. And then find a fairly upright posture. And then allow your pelvis to tip back a little bit, softening the low back. And bring the eyes to a point of focus on the floor in front of you, maybe a foot or two in front. And let the eyes be totally relaxed, so they're just barely open. You can just barely make out that point on the floor. Rest the tongue behind the top teeth. Relax the jaw as much as possible. And as you keep that steady but relaxed gazing point, feel the breath. The term forcing the breath can sometimes keep us a little bit too much in the head, so think of feeling it instead. Maybe you can feel a sense of expansion outwards or upwards. Maybe there's very little to feel. Just notice what there is to notice. And as you feel the breath, resist the temptation to get into any kind of language game describing it. Just feel it in the body. The mind wanders, bring it back. And so part of this approach to meditation is getting our minds accustomed to going into that place before a thought arises, where it's just pure perception, before there's any kind of judgment made. And with practice, those little gaps get a little bit longer. So it's not like no thinking, but it's a different way of working with the mind to keep it fresh and open to new experience. And I learned this technique from the Shambhala Meditation Center, as well as from a really great teacher named Richard Freeman, that I like to talk about quite a bit, because he's just such a great human and a great yoga teacher. So I hope that was helpful for you. Thank you for sticking around. That was a long Shavasana. You almost lost me there. And thanks so much. Hopefully we can do this again in a couple days. I'll be here on Thursday running a similar class at the same time. And hope you feel good. Go out and radiate that love. Peace, everybody. Stay safe.